A warm welcome to you in this Expressivo's music technology video number 32. I'm Marshall Shaw here with more music creation ideas to help celebrate the arts in you. I'd like to start today's video with a congratulations to a fellow StaffPad user, Edward Berden, who has published the first definitive book about using StaffPad, a notation app for iPad Pro and Windows Surface tablets. Its title is Mastering StaffPad, Digital Music Notation for the Modern Composer. It's available from Amazon, linked in the slide. All the very best to you, Steve. In today's video, I'll be looking at the important music creation element of chords and their progressions. Chords can be thought of as the context and environment your melody sits in. Think of chord progressions as the background scenery of a photo that adds details and mood surrounding your subject. When it's done well, your listeners will be emotionally elevated by your chord progression. To help us with this, I have the honor of two guest composers, Michael Lofting from Australia, who has sent his example of unique chords that elevate his melody in a different way. The second guest composer is Edward Berden from the Netherlands. I will present one example to further this concept. Please try our chord progressions and add them to your toolbox of ideas for furthering your understanding of chords. In the first example, our guest composer, Michael Lofting, presents us with a unique set of chords. In the first version, with his permission, I placed his melody over a traditional chord progression. In his original version following, you will hear the melody sitting above the root chords established, as he puts it, in the upper structure or higher harmonics of the root chord. This is fascinating writing, one that I've been experimenting with for the past year. You will notice in his original version, his melody notes rarely use the notes within the chords. Let's listen to the two versions of this most insightful piece of music. Thank you to Michael for sharing with us, and please visit his SoundCloud site to hear his other works. In the second example, our other guest composer, Edward Berden's piece, shows 5 unique chords. He used 5 major triads, in his words, with kinds of wrong bass notes. He further comments that the composer-listener may block the wrong bass notes. What remains is a rather mysterious progression that leads nowhere. Well, I think this piece goes somewhere, quite ethereal and complex in sound. Thank you to Edward for sharing this with us, and you can reach out to him via LinkedIn if interested. Let's hear his piece now. In the final example, I present an 8-bar melody using the Berlin Library's trumpet and strings with a traditional chord progression as seen in the graphic. It could be used to represent a moving piece for a quest or adventure. In the second version, I keep almost all of the melody but use a different set of chords which prepares the piece for a different purpose or audience. I highly recommend you explore the flattened 6th and flattened 7th chord of any key. They are most commonly used by film score composers for that special adventurous sound to move the listener to a different realm. Thank you, dear listeners and subscribers, for your continued support. Please share my videos with your friends and your students with my thanks. I'll see you in the next video. I hope you've enjoyed this video about the power of chords, a theme that we will revisit because of its importance. If you want to get to know a composer, study their chord vocabulary and narrative. In other words, observe their chord choices in their music, and you'll find the essence of their writing, who they are, and where they've been. We're all influenced by the music we play and listen to. It's rare when you find a piece of music that is a trailblazer in this area. However, they do exist. Check out YouTube for examples of composers who make musical memories for us to ponder and celebrate. Please take a moment to subscribe to support my efforts to continue to share music creation ideas on a regular basis. Also, most video compositions created here are placed on SoundCloud. Keep making music and celebrate the arts in you. See you soon in the next video, and as always, take care.